being considered for the library service in order to keep present and future library provision at the highest quality possible to sustain lifelong learning, improve language skills, and to provide access for the arts, rather than taking the easy solution of closing libraries when library provision is invaluable to the local community.
And indeed ready to fight for our libraries. We have 3 questions this evening, and we have petitions. I believe the person has a petition that she wants to present. And I, of course, won't deny that we have looked at the option of closing libraries. You know, I have to say, of course we did. In fact, we looked at every option. Given the fact that we'll have £35 million less in government grant next year than in 2010-11, it would have been remiss of us not to do so. But I can assure everybody here tonight that as far as I'm concerned, closures were never seriously on the table. The consultation which closed on Sunday looked at 4 main proposals, including, of course, reducing the number of libraries. Options involving the current mobile library service, options including expanding the very popular home link service and further developing the shared delivery of services with community hubs. The 4th option gave a chance for people to put forward proposals to run local libraries and to seek funding to support them. We went out to consultation seeking the views of as many people as possible on the future of our library service. We went out asking for people's ideas, and boy did they let us know. I am genuinely delighted to say that we had over 3,000 responses. Mr Mayor, I was first portfolio holder for libraries in 2003, and when I took over, there were, for instance, very few public access computers available. In fact, there were just a couple in the Central Library in Grays. By the time I left in 2004, every library in Thurrock offered free computer access and computer tuition too. Today, from that you can take it that libraries are important to me personally, but we do have to accept that libraries and library service has to change with the times. And you can go back to the very start of the public library service in Britain. You can go back to the Public Libraries Act of 1850. That followed the kind of mid-Victorian social demand for improvement of the public through education. That at a time when formal organised education was in its infancy. Libraries were also at that time seen by many as a worthwhile alternative to the gin palaces that were springing up on almost every street corner, giving working people the alternative to those gin palaces. We then get to the 1890s, turn of the century, when Andrew Carnegie came in and endowed local authorities, local areas with libraries. And you can go back, thinking outside the box, to the 1855 Public Libraries Act that allowed local authorities to raise a penny rate so they could afford libraries. So I think that there is a history of libraries thinking outside the box, although I'm sure that's not a phrase that Victorians would have understood. Today's library service is actually governed nationally by the Public Libraries and Museums Act of 1964, which says, and I quote, that councils such as Thurrock are under a duty to provide a comprehensive and efficient library service. I think we do that at the moment. But if we provided a service in the style of Victorians, or even that style that Harold Wilson might have recognised in 1964, then I think people would have every right to complain. That's why I took the 4th consultation option really seriously, looking at new and innovative ways of running libraries, thinking out of the box, as Mrs McPherson puts it. So what I did was call together senior officers from across the council with one question in mind. That was, what can we do to provide a library service that is both affordable for the new funding reality and appropriate for the 21st century? The answer, I think, would surprise people, because ideas bounce backwards and forwards, what about this and what about that? And in the end, we came up with a proposition, one that we will merge with the proposals from the consultation, but I can say here tonight, very clearly, without a doubt, that not only will no libraries in Thurrock be closing, but a new 10th Thurrock library will open. That to serve the people of Purfleet, an area that has been lacking as far as this service is concerned for too long. It won't be a complete library to start with. It will be based in the old housing office on the Garrison estate, and some library services will be there and others will follow. We're all well aware of the exciting plans for Purfleet, and it's my aim to ensure that those plans take this embryonic library and create something that people there can use and call their own. This, of course, does not mean there won't be changes to the library service across the borough. There will be. We have to make sure that our libraries cater for the needs that local people have now, not that they might have had in 1850, 1964 or even 2003. Changes there will be, but those changes will be in an expanded service, and there will be more detail coming when we discuss the future of the service at March's Cabinet meeting.